Bruh.
Alright guys, you win, it's done. I'll no longer argue the fact that I'm not a drama YouTuber. I've embraced it now, it's fully embraced. For this series I'm starting up, I'm going to be covering up 5 weekly info/drama that happened in Rise of Kingdoms last week. And apparently this is needed, because too many kingdoms feel comfortable betraying and being snakes. So King Schmuck is over here to the rescue, helping out kingdoms and covering the drama for everybody to see. If you like the video, then press the like button and subscribe. And if you want to comment something nice, that would be appreciated. Without further ado, let's get started with the first segment of the video. The famous betrayal of Wind Camp and the famous kingdom of 1568 that initiated that betrayal. To give you guys some context, it is fire and wind allied versus earth and water. Fire bodied earth in zone 5. Wind encouraged them to keep burning them and keep fighting them until Earth Camp is completely drained. The initial agreement was always DKP to get the star, which basically means a calculation of kills and deaths between the winning camps to whoever gets the star, as they will be deserving of it. They were up against an Imperium 1606 and managed to completely beat them in the final Kingsland. This was a very famous KvK. Once they secured the zone and finished their DKP calculation, Fire Camp came out on top in terms of DKP, and Wind Camp didn't like it. They also wanted the star but didn't know how to argue for it. They started to slide in sneaky and slimy arguments like, "We saw some of your players giving and feeding deads in that zone 5 and that you kept feeding deads to the enemy camp to increase the DKP," even though Wind was actually encouraging them to keep fighting Earth in that zone 5, as you guys can see in that screenshot. Ultimately, they had no other arguments and just decided to say, "Fight us for the star." Not only that, but they also began to fill the ziggurat with troops and basically started their plans to fight and defend their zone and take the star via betrayal. Now at this point, obviously Fire Camp is drained and Wind Camp is a bigger camp. They wanted to bully their allies into submission, so Fire Camp asked the other camps that were once enemies to come in and help them out in exchange for the star. Now this is a controversial take, but I think this is a good move because some people will meme Fire and say, "Oh, they didn't get the star at the end." But if you're in this situation, I would rather give the enemy the star instead of a slithery, slimy ally that tries to backstab you using crappy arguments. Speaking of crappy arguments for betrayal, the next betrayal is even more ridiculous. This time the reason for betrayal was the initial allies were quote-unquote rude and mean, so therefore they don't deserve the star. Oh, how convenient to notice that they're rude and mean at the very end when they win the DKP calculation. Anyway, this is the betrayal of 3535, a very young kingdom in KvK 2, and this personally hits home for me because KvK 1, 2, and 3 is where you see the most slimiest people ruin their kingdoms by betraying for the star, especially because they're usually run by unprofessional jumper groups, a lot of players who never hit Seasonal Conquest and keep restarting new kingdoms. Anyway, I made a whole live stream when 3493 betrayed their kingdom for the star and 3500 betraying in KvK 1 for their star. Now the entire kingdom is cooked, and it seems the same situation is happening here with 3535. Essentially the same idea. The star was promised to the best DKP calculation kingdom, and 3535 being a big kingdom didn't like the scan at the end, which basically decided that their allies should win this. And then they obviously came up with some bogus excuse to betray, and these are the screenshots of them basically agreeing to the initial plan, then backing out and betraying at the end. What's funny is they actually sent a reassuring message to their allies saying they won't betray, and they're doing exactly just that. So right now live, they are actually fighting to see who wins. I don't know the conclusion of that war, but I feel like 3535 will get pushed out of the zone and they won't end up getting anything. On to number 3, where we have a crazy karma scenario in my own KvK where one of the biggest trash talkers in all KvK got humbled at the very end. Now we're talking about Mr. Death here from 1365, who was trash talking the entire KvK from beginning to end. Not only he was trash talking, but he was making memes talking about how we were struggling against farm accounts, trashing some of our native players and trashing their accounts, just being completely disrespectful to the point where his own alliance wanted to kick him out of the alliance. Now every thread he would make would get at least 20 to 30 minimum replies because he was just that disliked, and that's how many memes he made throughout Lost Kingdom chat. For some odd reason he forgot to teleport out and basically got whooped by one fluffy pony rally, and he was getting swarmed. Not only that, but 40 billion of his resources were also looted, and his own kingdom decided to put a full title on him as he was getting zeroed. This is just the purest humiliation I've seen and the biggest karma that I've seen in the game till this date. I think this is a lesson to learn. If you're going to trash talk that much, at least don't get caught lacking. Otherwise, you may end up on a King Schmuck video. Just make sure to give yourself extra protection and make sure you bubble before you get off in case this happens to you in the future. Our number 2 segment is quite a sad story. Now, I want you all to take this as a lesson in the future if you're watching this. If you've been a victim of the same case, do let me know so I can raise some more awareness. But basically, this is a lesson to never give your accounts out to free pilots or even pilots in general that you don't even know. Even if they offer a free piloting service where they chain for you, especially if you don't know them, and especially if you haven't linked all of your social media on your account and you don't have VIP support to help you out. This is a story that happened to one of my guys in my Discord server, where basically he gave his account out to a group of individuals who said they would do free chaining services and free piloting services, and basically decided to ruin his account by zeroing players, dropping his powers, swarming players in his own kingdom, and then linking their own account, their own social media account. Basically, they've linked the Facebook account to their account, so now they have unlimited access to the account. And the worst thing is, the original owner can't even unlink that Facebook account because he doesn't have VIP support. So the thing is, these individuals basically message people in Rise of Kingdom Discords offering a free piloting service, offering free chaining, and they do this basically to players until they get lucky with an account that doesn't have a linked Facebook or a linked Gmail, so that they can hold the account for ransom. What they do is they attach their accounts onto the account and then ask the guy to pay a certain fee so that they can basically give the account back. It's unfortunate what happened to this guy in my Discord, but because he doesn't have VIP support and the pilot has already linked his Facebook account, this account is now at risk at all times. It's a shame because it was a 120 mil account with decent gear, but now it's worthless because it has a linked Facebook account from someone else. Just be careful out there, guys. I genuinely don't know why you would share your own account to unknown strangers on Discord. That is like the last thing that you should do in this game. I'm a content creator, but before I was making content, I would get DMs constantly, people trying to pilot my account for free to help me out during war or to chain for me. They always say that they're trusted and they have a portfolio, but if you don't know them at all, just don't share anything. I genuinely don't see the benefit of sharing your details to people that you don't have any idea where they're from, what they do, and why they even message you in the first place. It's like they randomly want to chain for you for free. That just sounds fishy in general. What benefit does it give them? It doesn't give them anything, any benefit. Why don't they chain on their own accounts? Why don't they charge for the chaining? Why do they provide it for free? Obviously, don't be fooled by this. They obviously want to exploit someone who's vulnerable, who's going to be like, oh, free chaining? I'd like to go for that. I don't want to pay for chaining. And just be alert with your accounts, guys, and be safe out there. Unfortunately, now the account is empty. It has 0 speed ups and it has 0 resources. He basically opened up the entire packet and he zeroed a lot of the troops onto people's cities, and basically the owner of the account can't really do anything because all the other guy has to do is log in, waste the account some more, and it's basically done. He can't actually unlink the account. He can't actually get back the full authorization that he once had. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Anyways, this is the Discord of the guy that keeps doing this. Just keep an eye out and stay clear from him because he's clearly done it before and he knows now it works on people. So if he DMs you or private messages you in any way, shape or form, just report his Discord account so he doesn't try anything else on others. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you want to submit your own story and allow it to be featured in my channel, just join my Discord, which you can find in the comment section or the description below. Like and subscribe to show some love, and just message me on Discord if you want to be featured on the next channel. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care and peace out.